All right, actually, now that we've selected each one of these, you'll notice that we could highlight also or display the modules that belong to each one of them, right? So, for instance, down below here, not only could I say core, or not only can I say selected course.title, right? The selected course, but notice that I could also say grab the modules and say the length and ask how many modules there are under there, right? So, for instance, there's two, but this one doesn't have any. Oh, I guess they both have two modules, apparently, right? Um, so we could um, render the modules right here, couldn't we? We could just do this, right? We could say ul class, and this would be a list group, and this could be li with a class of list group item, and just iterate over this how many courses there are in the currently selected course. So we could say, just iterate over all the modules in the currently selected course. I can say ng4, right, and this would be let module of the selected course dot modules, right, and then iterate this, and then display maybe the title of the module. So module dot title. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Okay, notice that if I click on each one of these, notice that I have the modules rendering right below. See that? And perhaps I might want to highlight this. This says li modules, and this would be class list item, right? Notice that it is complaining because it has no modules, right? There's no declaration that this course has any modules. So we could put here an initialization that has empty modules with an empty array. See that? Okay, so that it stops complaining. There it is, right? Okay. Just to make this a little prettier, perhaps we could put them in columns, right? So let's do that. So let's break this up and say that this is a top level div, which has one single row and has several columns. So div class column has at least two columns, of which the first column is this one over here. I'm just going to move it into the right place. Right, and this one down here, I'll move it into the second column. Right, so that they're side by side. Okay? Right, maybe I want to highlight the very first one, active. Excellent. So if I click on C1, I get M1, M3. All right, so let's do this whole thing again one more time. Right, that would be the lessons. Right, so let's do that. So we would need to perhaps be able to select the module, just like we did for the courses. So let's do that. And so for this li, right, if I click, I would like to select the module, the current module, right? And we don't have that function, so let's create it. Create the method. And here I would say something like, this dot selected module is equal to module, and we would keep track of selected module, which might have a list of empty lessons initialized. Yes? Okay. Right. Selected selected module. Okay, excellent. Thank you. So going back here, we could just repeat this whole thing, right? We could say, grab this, right, and just be yet another div here that iterates over the lessons of the lesson of selected module dot lessons, right? And then each one of these lessons is here. Let's not select anything, and we just display the lesson title. Okay, there we go. So we have C1. We click on M1. Notice that we have L1, L2, but M2 doesn't have any lessons. See that? The only thing here might be that we can highlight each one of these modules, and that's easy, right? We can just say that this Li, I'm going to calculate the class, ng class, to be the active if the current module that is currently selected, that I'm iterating over, if its ID is equal to the selected module.id. Right, so if I click here, click there, it highlights, perhaps with a different color. That makes sense? All right. All right, so there we go. We have a module set of columns that allows you to navigate this whole data set.